Have you ever wondered what happens to abstracted characters from the Amazing Digital Circus? If it has crossed your mind, you don't have to wonder about it anymore, because all the answers you need are in the pilot episode of the show. We have to take you back to the scene where Ragatha and Jax accompany Pomni to check up on Kaufmo. It may look like a harmless hallway scene to the uninitiated, but on closer inspection, you should be able to make out the rooms with crossed-out images of characters we don't know. While watching the show for the first time, you may not think much of these unknown characters, since they didn't spend any time talking about them. But it's all part of the ruse by the show's creators to keep viewers in the dark. By now, you shouldn't be surprised that the show's creators are keeping secrets from the audience. After watching the pilot episode a few hundred times and scouring the internet for any information on the show, we began to uncover the dark mystery surrounding the crossed-out characters, and it's as shocking as it gets. You don't need to be a genius to guess that the crossed-out characters have all been abstracted, but where it gets interesting is how they reached the point of no return. Of the crossed-out characters we could make out, we have what looks like a yellow dog, a fluffy Cyclops monster, a jester-like creature with polka-dot clothes, and a familiar-looking queen chess piece. For characters like the yellow dog and fluffy Cyclops monster, there isn't much online from Gooseworks to try to even come up with their backstories. If we really want to let loose, we can take a page from the fandom and come up with some unbelievable names and theories for these characters, but we don't want to go down that route. The show's fandom is full of crazy fans with wild imaginations, and you would not believe some of the absurd things they have come up with for the show. Since we have two other clown-type characters in the circus, we are tempted to say the crossed-out jester-like creature was the original clown who resided in the circus before Kaufmo came along. It goes without saying that no circus is complete without a clown, so we believe we aren't that far from uncovering the character's origin. There are still a few other crossed-out performers we can't make out, but the four we mentioned are the easiest to spot. Even though we don't know the specific number of performers who have abstracted, we can tell that quite a number of people have suffered the circus' worst fate. Immediately, we realized the potential of knowing what happened to the crossed-out performers. We did our best to find everything we needed to know about them, but we ended up with nothing. Most people would give up and just wait until more episodes come out, but we aren't most people. So we stalked Gooseworks' social media account until we got something good. If you're a crazy member of the Amazing Digital Circus fandom, you should know all about the answers Gooseworks provided, but if you're not, this video is about to change your world. It has to do with a certain character who has a crossed-out image in the hallway, but unlike the rest, we got some streaming info about her, and it's gonna help us understand what happens to abstracted characters. The golden goose in this situation is the queen chess piece, and her existence provides a lot of juicy details we wouldn't have known if an eagle-eyed fan didn't spot the similarities to Kinger. Once it became obvious that they were connected, fans hounded Gooseworks for some answers, and she obliged by providing something to get them off her back. At first, all Gooseworks did was reveal the name of a character the fans had been going crazy about, but it wasn't enough, and she had to feed the sharks more before they destroyed everything. Despite revealing more than she was used to, Gooseworks also revealed that Kinger and Queenie weren't siblings, which confirmed the theory that she was Kinger's partner. This means that of all the characters presently alive in the circus, Kinger is the only one who knows what it's like to have a partner abstracting. We don't think we have the mental bandwidth to go into how mentally stressful it is to live through that. So we will focus on what Queenie's abstraction has taught us. Her absence in the first episode means that once you go abstract, nothing can be done to salvage the situation. Kinger and Queenie have probably been in the circus for more than a decade, and the queen chess piece has spent a good chunk of that time as a mindless monster. If it was possible to turn abstracted characters back, Kane would have done that a while ago. This theory is confirmed by the way the characters in the circus look at Kaufmo once he becomes insane. But while it is not possible to return to your senses after going abstract, it doesn't necessarily mean a character is dead. If you want to help the poor abstracted souls lock it in the cellar, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the channel. It might be hard trusting us with your mind, but you are in good hands. Kaufmo's unique abstraction. Most fans believe once a character abstracts, they more or less die. But we are here to tell you that it's not as straightforward as they think. In the pilot episode, we got to see an abstracted Kaufmo go on a rampage, and it gives us a starting point of what to expect from abstraction. Kaufmo went from being a harmless clown who told lame jokes to a rampaging monster who tried to hurt Ragatha. Even though Ragatha took the berating like a champ, the fact that she referenced her previous interaction with Kaufmo,
Folks, I swear I really did think they were funny. I was just having a bit of a bad day!
where she didn't laugh at his jokes, shows that it wasn't the clown she was used to. Even though we never got to see what a sane Kaufmo was like, Gooseworks claims Kaufmo and Ragatha were the same in the sense that they were always cheery, and they loved shoving their toxic positivity down everyone's throats. To go from being an overly positive character to one that just wants to harm others simply means once you abstract, you have no control over your mental state. Think of it like someone who was bitten by a zombie. The poor soul slowly loses their grip on their mind as the virus creeps toward their brains, but they are still there. It's not until they are completely taken over by the virus that you can presume them dead. In the case of abstraction, the character slowly goes mad while others watch in horror, and once they get past the tipping point, the physical transformation happens. Just like the metaphor using the zombies, abstracted characters also undergo something similar, where they turn into a large black monster with flickering eyes. Since Kaufmo was looking away in his room, we don't know if the transformation is instantaneous or if it occurs slowly. The one thing we know is that it is brutal for those around the abstracted character. We don't know what's more terrifying, seeing your friend turn into a large, unrecognizable monster, or the fact that abstracted characters can't differentiate friend from foe. Now that you have an idea of how terrifying abstraction can be, it's a perfect time to talk about something that happens to abstracted characters that most viewers would miss on their first watch of the pilot episode. It has to do with Kaufmo's nightmarish room, and while you might not want to revisit that frightening place, it holds a secret about abstraction. By now, it isn't news that before abstracting Kaufmo went on and on, rambling about the disappearing exit he kept seeing.
I think Kaufmo's gone insane. Last time I spoke with him, he was rambling endlessly about some exit.
If you thought that was just some random dialogue, a peek inside Kaufmo's room would change your perspective. The sad clown wasn't just looking for the exit, he fixated on it so much that he wrote about it all over his room. We have seen characters go back and forth about something they like, just like how Kinger wouldn't stop talking about an imaginary insect collection.
An insect collection?
Kaufmo's fixation on the exit was so next level that he trashed his room just so he could find enough space to write about the exit. Kaufmo's fascination with the exit might suggest that once you go off the edge in the Amazing Digital Circus, you begin to chase after the exit door until you go insane. This would mean that all the characters with crossed out images once fixated on the exit before losing their mind. If our guess is correct, it would explain why only a few characters know about the exit. We can come up with a few guesses on why Zubel, Jax, and Kinger couldn't see the exit, but their fans are crazy, so we don't want to give them more reasons to run wild. However, it doesn't explain how Pomni could see the exit as soon as she joined the circus. It's very tempting to say she can see the exit, because she is also close to abstracting like the others, but we wouldn't go that far. The only way we see a protagonist like Pomni being that close to abstraction is if she already had a fractured mind to begin with. As wicked as that may sound, we believe Glitch has a lot of torment planned for Pomni, so she isn't getting off that easily. We just have to believe that the exit plays a key role in abstraction, and as we dive deeper into the rabbit hole, we will learn more about the enigma. Right now, there are a lot of things we don't know about the Amazing Digital Circus, but that doesn't have to be the case. Unlike Kane, we won't force you to go on a wacky adventure with us, but you should check out our other videos. It's all about avoiding unwanted abstractions over a digital circus backstage, so you might also want to subscribe to the channel.